Hello everyone, my name is Liquid Jester, and today I'm going to be going over the main character of Final Fantasy II, Firion. I'll be going over things like his AP, durability, speed, as well as his hexes and resistances, and so without further ado, let's get right to it. Getting his equipment out of the way first, Firion, along with the rest of the characters in Final Fantasy II, can equip pretty much any weapon or shield that they want in the game, which is including swords, axes, bow and arrows, spears, shields, knives, and a staff for magic. I'll go more into the more broken abilities that each weapon gives him later in the hack section. Now, getting AP out of the way first, Firion should scale anywhere between small country level to at least multi-solar system level, as him and the party were able to defeat the Emperor, who created a massive cyclone with the energy being calculated to be around the teraton levels of energy. There's a direct statement in the game that the cyclone was created by the Emperor's magic, and in the boss fight, the Emperor uses magic to attack you, so Firion and the rest of the party clearly scaled to it. They also end up killing the Emperor as well, and at the end of the game, they fight a resurrected Emperor that has the power of Pandemonium, with the Emperor's mere existence passively sustaining Pandemonium, which contains a sky full of stars, with Firion and the rest of the party defeating him once more. From his death, Pandemonium, along with the monsters, all vanished without a trace, according to the epilogue. Now, the word vanish may seem a bit vague in this context, but I believe it'd be safe to assume that vanish within this context means destroyed or erased, especially with statements describing how he absorbed the power of Pandemonium within himself, and thus both his existence and the existence of Pandemonium are now linked with each other, and thus would have the power of everything that's within Pandemonium, including the stars inside of it. Now, if you're not convinced by the multi-solar system level stuff, there's another feat that the Emperor does casually, where he generates an explosion that destroys the entirety of the Palamecia Empire and the surrounding mountain range. Not only that, but the explosion also penetrates deep into the Earth's crust to have Pandemonium rise from beneath the ground, with a calc putting this feat at 32.249 exatons of TNT, putting it comfortably within the 5C moon level ranges of attack potency. And again, this is a very casual feat the Emperor performs just after coming back from being dead. Also, one of the first mini-bosses that you fight in Pandemonium is the Iron Warrior, who has a description saying that his strikes can demolish a mountain, and it's the first and weakest mini-boss that the party fights and defeats in Pandemonium. And now for speed. Firion should be at bare minimum massively hypersonic. He has access to lightning spells like Thunder, and is a spell that other enemies in the game can also use. Firion and the party can also react to and dodge those lightning spells as well. Firion and the rest of the party also scale to the Demons of Pandemonium, who appear in Final Fantasy IV After Years and are shown capable of keeping up with the party in that game as well. The FF4 cast members can react to spells like Meteor, which in FF4 is calced at being able to move at 134 million times the speed of light, with of course the Hell version of the Emperor upscaling massively from the Demons of Pandemonium, and Firion and the rest of the party are able to tag him and kill him. And now with that, let's move on to hexes. Being an RPG character, he has access to some basic elemental spells. The three main ones he has are Fire, Blizzard, and Thunder, Lightning, Ice, Fire respectively. He has Healing with the Cure spell, Resurrection with the Life spell. He has a spell called Esena, which allows him to cure him and other people from various ailments and status effects throughout the game, including things like Venom, Sleep, Mute, Mini, Paralysis, Muddle, Poison, Darkness, Curse, Amnesia, Toad, Stone, and he in turn also has access to spells that can inflict these same status ailments as well. Spells like Fog, Scourge, Confuse, and Curse, etc. He can also halt an opponent's sense of time via the Stop spell, can BFR opponents into another dimension via the Teleport and Warp spells. The Osmosis and Drain spell allows Firion to drain an opponent's HP as well as their magic. Toad turns opponents into frogs, while Break turns people into stone. Lastly, there is the Flare, Holy, and Ultima spell. Flare is described in game as an attack that sets off a fusion reaction to damage enemies. Holy is described as drawing power from light to deal non-elemental damage. And Ultima is described as being the most powerful destructive magic in the game, meaning that Ultima's attack potency would inherently upscale from any magic-based feats performed in the game thus far, including stuff that we've seen from the Emperor. Even weapons that Firion can wield throughout the game all have the ability to use status effects and cast elemental spells as well. However, the only weapon that really matters is Firion's Blood Sword, a sword that steals the blood of its foes. The sword also heals Firion equal to the amount of damage it inflicts. And finally, for resistances, Firion can equip the Ribbon item, which completely protects him from all of the status elements in the game, as well as the elemental spells. And with that, we went through all of the best stuff Firion has to offer, having attack potency and durability that can range anywhere between small country to multi-solar system, and speed that can range between massively hypersonic and massively faster than light plus, and a pretty decently hacked character to boot. I admit there are some abilities that I have left out in this video for the sake of time, but I will leave a list for all the stuff that he has in the description. Links to some of the calcs will also be there as well. Thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you all next time.